I want to kind of lead into Newark Symphony Hall, this large scale project that you have going on right now. And as you heard at the beginning of the podcast, you're looking to raise $50 million for the renovation of Newark Symphony Hall. And the first question I have is if you can just give like maybe, just spend like 30 seconds, a minute, just talk about the rich history of Newark Symphony Hall and talk about just like how big it is. We're in Newark and the future of this project.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So yeah, 50 million just for the building. So I'm gonna have more. I'm gonna have to raise more money for the other stuff.
Right.
Symphony Hall was opened in 1925. The number of people that have come through there, pretty much every musical legend and every genre you could possibly think of has come through there. Of course, opera. So from opera, from Placido Domingo, Marian Anderson, though. First one, 1940, first African-American, to perform there. Leontine Price, but every opera, person you could possibly think of has come through there. But I love to talk about the rock and roll era in particular, and that includes the soul music era. So there's a very famous picture of Aretha Franklin sitting in a dressing room looking in a mirror. That's Newark Symphony Hall, whether you realize it or not. That's what that picture was taken. But the Rolling Stones, 1965, did a tour stop at Symphony Hall, and Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells was their opening act. Come on.
Oh my God. It's like a museum. It's like
it really is. And I'm hoping to actually work on that. It's so funny you say that. One of the very first things that I did is I called a local tour person and said, I want to hire you to create a tour of the building. The building's huge, right? I want you to do a tour, and as people walk through, talk about the history so that people get that feeling as they walk into the concert hall and think about, great moments, but also somber moments, like the day after Martin Luther King was assassinated and Jimi Hendrix played a concert on that stage, and how half the people didn't show up because there was rioting in the streets, and so he told people to come down from the back, like come forward, come forward, and it became an intimate concert. Like that's the kind of stuff. I know I went way more than 30 seconds, but that's the kind of stuff from Symphony Hall all the way to today. It's been a continuous use essentially since the 60s.
This is a huge project, and I absolutely love it. And I absolutely love you in this project. And the one thing that I want this podcast to do, and I wanted to, serve two purposes. Obviously, I wanted to help women business and Black-owned business with those key tips that you talked about before. But I also want to at least serve as some type of, even if it's at a minuscule amount of an investment help for you in terms of letting people know when I send out this podcast and market this podcast about this investment opportunity. So these next two questions are going to be kind of geared towards the investment portion of at a high level, because you can't share all of your.
Sure.
So can you kind of from a high level perspective, can you talk about the multiple different revenue streams that the potential at Symphony Hall? Can you give a high level?
Sure. So there's one where if you are a very wealthy person that needs a tax credit, we're going to be eligible for historic tax credits. And the way that we need to turn those into cash is to sell them for a percentage on the dollar. So if you are, and I don't know what it's sort of the market is, but let's say the market is 85 cents on the dollar, 90 cents on the dollar. So if you have $1 million that in credit that you need, you can pay me less than that, or the organization, the entity, and you will get that tax credit for that amount. So that's a big deal. But the other thing is that we are an opportunity zone. So being in an opportunity zone, and that's new vehicle, you can actually, so once again, say, Jamil, you invested in this tech business and you got all kinds of capital gains. Typically, you would be paying taxes on those capital gains, right? Instead, you can reinvest it into the investment vehicle that we're creating, a for-profit investment vehicle. And not only can you then doubly benefit because you can get the interest, the return on investment in what we're doing, but you also no longer have to pay taxes on your capital gain.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So let me just kind of spell this out a little bit for people that are listening. And I want to make sure that I have this straight. Let's just say, for instance, from a hypothetical perspective, that you're investing like cryptocurrency right now, and you have
That's right.
millions of dollars invested in Bitcoin, millions and millions of dollars invested in like Tesla stock, whatever it is in cryptocurrency, and you're looking to move that money because crypto is absolutely insane right now. You're
It's
looking
at
to
like
move that.
50, isn't that like 50? I know because somebody inquired this week. It's like $56,000 dollars per. It's like crazy.
It's crazy right now. Absolutely. But the market is volatile, so it moves
Right.
up and down and moves up and down. And if you're looking to move out of that market, this could be the perfect investment for you because of the capital gains tax that you're going to be able to
To avoid.
happen for you. Right. Right.
Right, right. You could totally avoid it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know some of y'all are hiding in your crypto wallet right now, but eventually Uncle Sam gonna
Yes.
find out.
Yes. You're gonna get that letter in the mail from the federal government.
So put it on over here because it's for a great cause. For our construction alone is going to create 500 construction jobs. There are going to be 50 small businesses that we're going to engage by buying something from them during this process of development. And then think about the jobs that we're going to be creating in the building as well. So let those crypto dollars, put them to good use. Thank you. Those Bitcoins, like put it to good use.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, Tanisha, that's pretty much all of our time today. I had such an amazing time interviewing today, and I will. You'll see this this blast that's going to happen with this podcast over the next like 2 or 3 weeks. So I appreciate your time, and I wish you much luck and much success with Symphony Hall. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamel.